Hey all, this is Urs, and welcome back. Welcome back to our continued retrospective coverage of the joy that is this particular They Are Billions campaign, surviving the Horde number 6, roughly around day 58. As you can see, we've expanded a little more here. We jumped forward a bit because I think I totally forgot to hit record. But as you can see, we now have a group of 5 Titans, and we've expanded out to the point where we're seeing where the edges of the map are. And we're starting to thinking about in-game fortifications as we start moving out. But we've expanded pretty far north, which is great. Lots of big regions. We expanded further west here. Basically, it's been only, I think, about 4 days in-game since the last episode that we were discussing. So really rather rapidly. So you see how long it took us. It took us like 7-8 days to take down the city. We didn't basically expand while we could have been doing this effectively and expanding very, very quickly to other corners of the map. So you can see, again, we're trying to play this whole extra district strategy of not letting our housing be the only thing between the zombies and try that again. Not letting the housing be the thing right after the wall when the zombies come a-calling. So we're definitely picking out good choke points here. They're pretty narrow comparatively, and we have fallbacks in nearly every position. So this is kind of what you want to start thinking about. You can't build too close to the edge of the map, FYI. So you can't go too far, but you can go pretty damn far. So we're going to try to do that as much as possible. But luckily, as I said, from all these we have fallbacks. We can put quarries in these new places. There's a lot of new resources available. As we remove the ballistics, it was bothering us. We can't build out further anyway. And that'll give us double coverage on that corner and be allowing us to get a double wall in there, so which is pretty much perfect. So that was the goal there. Nice and handy. Put that damn wall in there. Why is there only one wall there? There's a gap. I see a gap, and it bothers me. Not there. Not there, you dumbass. Yeah, whatever. I'll deal with it later. But anyway, so as you can see, we've expanded east and west pretty aggressively. And now we have really nice choke points. North, south, I mean north and west, and east is still probably not the best place in the world, but now that we have a group of 5 Titans, guess what we're doing? And if you said clearing the map with extreme prejudice, you are absolutely right. Those Titans are actually going ham. And in-game at this point, if you heard us talking, it would be me going, where the hell is the other city of doom? I know it's around here somewhere. And long story short, the answer is it's actually not. But we don't know that, so we're still assuming we're going to find another city going, God, we need to find this and clear it soon, otherwise we're going to be in trouble, we really got to get on it, all this other, you know, yakety yak, don't come back no more, no more, no more, no more kind of thing. Turns out there wasn't one. But hey, we didn't know that, so we're just going ahead, aggressively clearing the map, trying to hunt for this city, trying to figure out what giant black gap it's in. Because we haven't explored a lot of the map yet. We have the center pretty much locked down, but we definitely do not see the corners, so a lot of space to go, miles to go before we sleep. But at day 63, our economy's humming. We have 5 Titans up. We're expanding out, putting additional districts between the zombies and our command center and our housing, which is pretty much exactly what I'm going to be doing. And north is looking really, really good. West is looking relatively vulnerable comparatively. Actually, we did put an expansion here. It was one of the first expansions we made, and we needed the money, so it wasn't a bad decision. But now, like, we can look at endgame. That is really close to the edge of the map. It's definitely vulnerable, and we'll likely need to defend that pretty aggressively should push come to shove. So here we're just trying to clear out all these, like, corner packs, and as you get toward the edge of the map, as I said, you will be meeting more and more advanced undead, so you have to be really careful what sort of quality of unit you send out here. If you send out just ladies, they're going to hit spitters, and then you're going to get annihilated by spitters. It's just really kind of a bad scene. There's going to be a bunch of banshees too. Like, you got to be really, really careful with what you send out there. 5 Titans, though, pretty much take care of themselves. As you can see, we dropped down more oil platforms because we realized we were completely out of oil what to build Titans with. So, you know, them's the breaks. But we're still upgrading as much of the cities as possible, so we get even more income to finance our Titan army. Because, like I said, as fun as late game diversification and other units are, Titans are still pretty much the be-all end-all of endgame defense, in my opinion. They're really, really strong. They move much faster than Thanatoses, and they're tougher overall. So if you can supply as many of those as possible, I'm not sure if on balance, from a pure DPS perspective, 1 Titan equals 2 Thanatoses, speaking purely from an oil maintenance perspective, because Titans cost 2 to maintain, Thanatoses cost 1. But from a mobility perspective and from a rapid response perspective, I do think Titans are far superior. So, you know, that's just my thought. I mean, you could totally disagree, and that's, again, totally fine. But here we're also spamming farms, and beyond just providing food, farms do provide a pretty handy chunk of colonists also, which are, you know, taxpayers for you. So they're not just there to supply food for the stuff that makes money. It also makes you money in a way because of the colonists you get from it. So not the worst idea just to have a bunch of farms out too as your choice of food. And again, kind of obvious, I think, because they make a lot of food at once. They're space efficient, so you want to put down farms anyway. But it's kind of a benefit you don't always think about. And again, little pearls of wisdom, to the extent I can provide them, we will try to do so. Here, putting out these so the reindeer ladies can run back to the extent we hit resistance we didn't expect. Here we're saying we need to double wall this, why the hell not? Nice energy, god damn it. There we go. Now it's a really weird wall, but it is what it is. Yeah, probably an extra sympathy test would be necessary there. It'll also be a really good choke point as it is. But here we're going to go ahead and clear this Horde group. Titans are doing fine. You want to be careful with your Titans, because sometimes they can get chewed up if they get in a little too far over their head. Especially when you start getting a lot of special undead and you get a bunch of spitters hitting you while some fatties run at you. It's going to be pretty bad. So you can lose Titans if you're not careful. Just don't. It's really not worth it. They cost so much money. They cost so much time also to build that you need to be careful how you micro them. They're tough as hell. They are. I mean, they're really good units, but like all things, you need to be smart with how you use them, otherwise they will die and you will be very, very sad. Here we go again, trying to find room for mills, my least favorite part of the game. I will reiterate that repeatedly because you'll see us doing this like more than we would possibly like, but ugh, I said no, get rid of that one because of reasons. Because we're thinking of quarries first, we want to make sure we get a good quarry. I see 6 stone there, would have been really, really good. We can get double 6ers, look at that. And if we put that mill there, we would have been fucked. So that's why mill placement mills are really annoying, because 12 stone is awful good. And right now we're making 55 stone, and that's a lot. To be honest with you, that's quite a lot. And it'll only get better, because we need a lot of stone. Later in the game, you'll be needing to put down not only stone walls everywhere you can, and insulating your defenses, but the defense grid upgrade from ballistas to... Ooh, yes, money. We're like, ooh, we have cash. And there you go. East Horde's already here, so remember, Horde hit day 58, now it's day 63. That's relatively early, and we're looking at the east side, we're going, oh, shit. We don't have enough here. And we have energy wasting, so we're probably going to turn off a sawmill here so we can put down ballistas. Yep. There we go. And we can make sure we gotta defend this pretty well. I don't even know where my thought was at this point, because now I'm like, oh, look, it's a horde, oh my god. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, speaking of which, yeah, so we not only need to put down stone walls everywhere, the upgrade to ballistas, which are executors. Yeah, here we put a Tezzy, but we never built an extra layer of stone, which is really bad. Like, that's like colossally stupid. That's just kind of funny. We're not going to be able to build too much here again because there's undead here that we can't touch, which is really frustrating. It's really dumb. Not sure why we didn't do that. We totally forgot about that front. And of course, they're going to hit east. If they hit further north, we're okay. If you have an extra district down there, but now we're like, oh shit, can the Titans even get back in time? So practically speaking, we're like, okay, all hands on deck. We're going to stop clearing the map. We got to go deal with this. But yeah, the executor upgrade to Ballista of Heaven's Head costs 40 stone, or the 20 stone, something 20 or 40 stone to even get down. I think it's 40 stone. So if you're really upgrading quickly for your defenses, you've built all your Titans, your oil maintenance is maxed out. If you don't have enough stone to support your executor upgrades, my friend, you are boned late game. So stone income is more important than just for the stone walls themselves, which are kind of obvious. It's purely a matter of making sure you have enough stone for everything you're going to need it for. That's really the reality. So 20 oil production is awfully pretty good. We can make some money off of that until we start stacking Titans, and then that basically that income goes away if you do it that way. There we go, 517, all good. All good in the hood. Putting down another ballista here now. 2 ballistas. kind of scary at this point. We will have Titan support, so it's not the end of the world, but let's just put it this way. We could be doing this better, and we were definitely lazy on that. You see, there's no easy way to get our Titans over there either, and then the other edge of the map, our units are pretty spread out. Our snipers are not anywhere near where we need them to be. Who do you want me to banish? And again, if they come up north there on east, we want to make sure we have a unit available, so...
Oh dear.
Lots and lots of problems. So at this point, we're just kind of against the clock. Titans take a very long time to walk. It takes them a couple hours even to make a bit of a trundling motion across these farms, if the in-game time can be believed, so... Yeah, they're faster than Thanatos, but they're not exactly rangers, so we're a little concerned about getting hit in a bad way. Now, the good thing about the east side is that there are 2 districts between housing and our command center and anything else, so if we do get pushed back, we have fallbacks. They are stone, except for that one gate there that I'm noticing now, but we can definitely kind of hold in a pinch. We don't want to do that because we just pulled off the expansions, but okay, so there they are. There's the Horde coming from kind of the southerly side, so they're probably going to hit there and they're probably going to hit here, which is definitely our weakest point, like by far. It's pretty obvious. And what I think we're going to do here is turn down another sawmill. So if you're shrine workers or energy in a pinch and you need to defend yourselves, go ahead and shut down a resource extractor, like a sawmill. Probably at this point is probably the least important resource in an immediate pinch, effectively, so you can shut that down pretty comfortably and get that extra energy or extra workers you need to put up the defensive building, because they're probably going to be worth their weight in gold at some point, especially when, you know, zombies knocking at your door going, hey man, all we want to do is eat your brains, you know. And then you have to have the Jonathan Colton song in your head, and you have to have the discussion of like, it's not unreasonable, no one's going to eat your eyes and all that other good stuff. So it's a really weird conference call you don't want to be on with zombies, and they make the worst conference call participants, constantly groaning and shit. My point is, turn off stuff, get energy, get workers, profit. Which is what we did here. We were shining energy. We needed desperately to get another ballista down, and so we did, so yay. Beautiful stuff. Alright, so we're feeling pretty good. Not feeling great because our units are going to take a while to get here, and all we're going to have basically is rangers to cover the gap. But I think by the time the Titans lumber themselves over, we'll be able to go. But they're actually moving pretty quick. You know, so we want to put a gate there in case they break through there. Again, highly unlikely. Not sure why the snipers are moving there. It's really weird. They blocked or something? Did we realize we were blocked? No, I think they just, the pathing. Just FYI, if you get a little frustrated, the pathing in the game is a little bit wonky at times. So that's still a thing. It's gotten a lot better, but it's not awesome. Now the mill just came out, so we're putting the sawmills back on, so we can constantly keep producing supplies through this horde, effectively, this zombie raid, as it were. And here we're thinking, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put some extra walls down. We need that anyway to put a second set of ballistas in. We're also trying to think about endgame now at this point, because it is a coming, and we need to start thinking about putting down more walls, more defenses behind those walls, so we can start holding off the horde before it tries to chew our faces off. So all good. Not liking. Yeah, we're gonna definitely put another ballista down here, so we can cover that front if they move south, and also cover that pretty well and not blocked by anything. So again, really spending a lot of cash here, but the later waves do get really pretty hairy. So while this may seem excessive, and one could argue that it is, in the end, it's not the worst idea. He said they're probably not going to come that way. Do we really want to put a ballista down here? That's probably the discussion we're having at this point. I don't know why we're putting ballistas down here, for God's sake. Why are we even talking about this now? I'm not entirely certain. I think we're just checking our defenses to see if we haven't screwed up something like that, like forgetting to put the extra wall up. I think that might be the discussion ongoing. Why are we scrolling ballistas up this way? Why are we even discussing? I'm trying to reconstruct our thought process, and I have no idea what the hell the process was. And here we're saying, oh, we should put a second ballista here in case they come this way. I'm pretty certain I was opposed to that, but it is what it is. Like, if we swing up there, it'll be sorry, and, you know, that's not wrong. I thought the odds of that were pretty damn low. So Titans are centrally located, because we're not sure where the horde is going to swing.
Yes, it's a
I
wonderful day,
probably
don't you
would have
think?
put them further south, because by the time the horde would have swung around, we would have had time to walk. I probably would have put them on the southern flank. Now that they... then see that? The Horde is not actually breaking west. It's going here. They're going to try to push there. And that's smart because it is technically closer to our housing. There's going to be some tangential pushes here, but they're definitely going to hit that particular part. It's going to be a while before that comes up, and this is actually quite concerning because both our rangers, our snipers, and our titans are not there yet. That front's fine because they're just having tangential breakaways. But here we're going like, oh crap, is that ballista even going to get up in time? And the answer is yes, first of all. And second of all, Titan support is going to see to it that most of the mass that's incoming now is going to get utterly annihilated. But as you can see, this Horde is at the tail end, but that is a good 30, 40, I'd say about 30, 35 fatties running around. We're trying to basically see if this ballista is going to get infected in time or not. And at this point, we're saying, oh god, they broke through one wall, which happens rather quickly in these later Hordes at BT dubs. But with every Titan firing, all our ladies firing, and our snipers hitting high-value targets, I think this thing doesn't even get infected. We're annihilating undead that quickly. So, which was a nice, welcome surprise. We're like, ooh, that was pretty bitchin'. Like, why aren't we queuing up Titans? We have money, don't we? So again, once Mama Earth saw how effective Titans were, she was like, okay, can we get more of those, please? I said, yep. I'm always the one pushing Titans, obviously, because I love Titans. They're awesome. So there we go. Horde dealt with, as you saw. At this point, basically, as long as you have Titans out and a pretty decent military, double set of walls with maybe 2 or 3 ballistas and Titan support can easily deal with a Horde. This is Horde 7, I think, actually, hitting around day 65. So, you know, you see what's really effective. You can do with less, obviously, because we didn't basically even let the break in through perimeter. But you probably don't want to, and if you can afford it, why take the risk, right? So, all well and good. I will now take a sip of peaceful beverage as we continue the onslaught against the zombies.
I need to explode a skull.
As the sniper needs to explode a skull. Very exciting. But now we're kind of looking at like how far out we want to go and where the fronts are. I mean, that's effectively a front. We're saying, ooh, that could totally be a better choke if we have time.
Nice target.
But we move the snipers out there.
My machine is
I'm
ready.
not entirely certain. But again, we got to use our time effectively. We want to definitely clear the map. And I keep saying clear the map. And for those who do not know, clearing the map is important because once the final wave hits from all 4 directions, it actually brings along every single remaining undead on the map. So if you haven't killed them beforehand, they come at once at the end, and that has a tendency to overwhelm your defenses. That includes undead that are sitting inside the buildings of Cities of Doom, which is why you really want to clear the Cities of Doom before the final push, because if you imagine how many things we pull out of those on a regular basis, and you think, oh Christ, that's going to come with the final waves, horrifying thought, really. Like, really horrifying thought. Here, again, we're putting down more quarries. We need a lot of iron to supply Titans. We also need a lot of iron to supply Executors. So obviously we want to be efficient with this, get as much iron as possible, as well as getting... Ooh, there's a 4 there. Yep. I was getting 30 gold. So 2 really good quarries. And again, those are basically paying for themselves at this point. So no real economic worries about putting those down. We don't have the resources to do so. They will pay themselves back. Plus, yield you the stone and iron / gold resources you need to continue expansion. So really, really important to get those down when you can, when you have the resources. Always a good decision. If it's like 1 iron or like 2 stone, you might want to rethink your decision. But if they're decent numbers like that, don't even hesitate. Just go nuts, and you'll pay dividends in the end. So really, I mean, a lot of that is just kind of aggressively spamming macroeconomics and just going crazy. Here, again, we are assuming still at this point, because we didn't know the new patch, there was another City of Doom here, so we're going, okay, the odds that it's in the west side is pretty low, because we went pretty far, which it could be in that western corner, but there's a lot more unrevealed black on the northeast, so they could be hiding in that corner. So let's go ahead and look there first. So we're sending the Titans there, so they encounter City of Doom, they can more or less single-handedly annihilate it. It might take them some time with only 6, but they'll definitely not be in any major threat of doing so. We're doing this here purely because we can fit more ballista in here and get a wider firing front that mutually supports itself. So we're going to do that, kind of expand out here. I would say our choices of final choke points and where we're going to settle, it could have been better.
Let me destroy them.
But in the end, we actually did pretty good as far as the chokes go. We have a lot of defenses. We're going to keep expanding Teslas here. There's another quarry available there, and that's going to be really solid choking that space too, so we want to kind of take advantage of that as possible.
Have a taste of my machine.
We're up to 6 Titans now, which is, you know, nowhere near enough for the final push. But as you see here, like, you will encounter definitely large groups of advanced undead. You will encounter banshees running at you with large numbers, and Titans do make quite a lot of noise. Apparently giant stompy death machines do attract attention, who knew? Right now we're looking at some cash shortfall, so I think the next thing we should be doing, practically speaking, is upgrading some houses, because we have a fuck ton of stone, and we're not doing what we need to. Here we're going to put a gate in so we can run away with the ladies, should we need ballistic support from a horde we hit here, and we're going to let them clear out this corner effectively. So while the Titans are doing that, ladies are doing there, and snipers are just too slow to really do anything else beyond get pushed in for a good defense, so I'm going to do that. Here, I think, are we trying to get another quarry out of this? I think we are. That's awfully aggressive, but I think we're trying to narrow down the front to push in, because we don't want to lose our foundry either, so obviously we need to be sensitive about that. Now the Titan's coming up, so we're up to 7, effectively, and that's going to start coming up there more. And again, I look away for 1 second, and there's a fatty already punching us in the jaw. Oh, Banshee. And see, Banshee got a ranger. It's quite hard. Like, if you have 25 rangers and you have nothing but a Banshee pushing you, like, it's quite alright to survive it effectively. But if you have anything else accompanying the Banshee, like you're busy fighting a fatty and the Banshee runs in, you will lose a ranger. Those harpies, I call them Banshees, but they are harpies technically, I guess, in the proper nomenclature. Kill the spitter. Yeah, the spitter didn't get the spit there. You'll see those little sons of bitches crawling around, like little torsos running at you, shooting green goo to make your life a miserable pile of muck, but yeah, whatever. But there we go, spending some stone, or shortfall is cash for a change, which is nice. You do need a lot of spare workers actually late game, because the advanced guard towers, the executors, do take a bunch of energy, a bunch of workers. So we got to make sure that those are well equipped. So always upgrade your towns. Like I said, we're nowhere near our max economy right now because we are still on cottage tech, and we still have a lot of stone houses to upgrade. So a lot of potential. It's not necessarily a negative thing. It's actually quite good, because it feels like, you know, 1356. If you're on final numbers around 1300 gold, and that's like your end game money, you're a little shy. So ideally, what you should be doing is getting a lot more stuff. Now here's some drops we didn't even know were there, but that maybe 500 gold would be a nice shortfall. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna lose another ranger here. Almost did. But as you can see, toward the edges of the map, man, those undead are a little scary. So what we decided to actually do is bring the snipers down here for support, because they weren't doing anything anyway. You know, we thought the ladies could do this quickly. Clearly, the power is not there. Now we're up to 8 Titans. It's all well and good. We can support roughly 8 more off of this, so we clearly need more oil. If you shoot, like I said, on this map for about 20, it's probably a good number. But right now we can support, like I said, about 16 of them, and that's a pretty damn good number. I think the only reason you can do that with the oil pool we currently have is because of warehouse placement, which we didn't think of initially, but turns out that's a nice little benefit to where we put our warehouses. So yay, gotta love me some extra oil for our Titan horde as it comes in. Again, placing more mills. We can easily place a quarry on the other side, so don't worry about it. But we're here trying to get a little more efficient with mill spacing, such that we can get more power out of this. And, you know, late game especially, as you're placing mills, you're just going to spam as many as you can, so you don't have to do it every couple turns. Yep, do it. There we go. Yeah, when no one there. Yes, do it. Yes. Ah, mills. That's about, what, 5 mills, 150 power or something? And that goes away remarkably quickly. Now, if you're, and we have a lot of space here that's not farmland, you can totally spam mills in this new area. But like I said, if you run out of space, I mean, obviously your only choice at that point is to spam power plants. So gotta be smart about that. We're gonna lose a little food at this quarry, but again, iron a bit more critical to support our Titan infrastructure. as you can see, kind of late game, you just want to put down these resource gathering buildings because they eventually pay themselves back. And as long as you have enough to support it and you're constantly cracking out titans and upgrading your main eco buildings, meaning your residential houses, you're fine. You're actually totally fine. So again, always do this. If in doubt, build more eco is kind of the name of the game here.
What?
Oh, that's right. We weren't pushing out any further. We were building another set of walls, so we couldn't do that yet. Very serious about our wall in this game, because you know they do save your life. Walls they save lives.
Sweet
beverage. Anyway, continuing onward. Yes, we have another Titan in the group. That brings us up to about 9. We're getting there. We're getting there. But basically, by end game, if you expand it enough, you should be able to max out your Titans with the oil pools. And yes, we will build Thanatoses. We will. But right now, we're still using the tried and true Ranger plus Titan strat. And now, the major innovation here, the last couple of games we played, actually, Rangers alone weren't enough, especially when advanced undead came into play. They tended to be too fragile. You couldn't take down spitters fast enough before they spit on you. You got like 3 or 4 plus a couple banshees. Like, they just went down so hard. But what we experimented with here, and which was very successful, is that sniper support solves that problem. Rangers are still very effective. They do most of the damage stuff coming in, and snipers can pick up those high-value targets at long range before they can really do drastic amounts of damage. So the strategy that we're playing, completely negating soldiers, unfortunately. While I do like the class, it just, they're not pulling their weight. The problem with soldiers is that spitters kind of eat them for breakfast. Because soldiers have a tough time running away in time before they get spat on. If they get overwhelmed, it's just nighty-night. And you'd rather be spending your money early on Rangers. You can have 4 of those anyway. And if they're your rapid-fire troops, so to speak, your specialist troops are going to be snipers. And soldiers don't have the range to compete. So, I mean, that is the current meta, I think, honestly.
Here we go.
Soldiers aren't very favored. And soldiers cost food and iron. I mean, food to maintain, iron to build. They're more expensive than Rangers are. So early on, it's a better investment of your time to have. Kill the thing that's punching you in the face, thank you. Yeah, with sniper support, you already see that the fatties melt a lot quicker. They're a lot less to worry about, but there's so many executives in the corner. And we're just checking where we're getting pushed. As you can see, we're so far to the edge of the map there that that's going to be a very quick flashpoint for combat, so we got to be very careful. That's something to think about for the future. Yeah, these banshees, these harpies are nasty. They're not as bad as spitters because they don't require you to micro as much. Because at that point, you know, you're gonna have to just shoot the damn thing. You can't really run away from it. But spitters are really annoying. So you look away for 2 seconds, and then suddenly you come back, and like 10 of your rangers are near death because a spitter got him. So it makes micro a lot harder. Spitters are still the nightmare unit to deal with, and it's also what makes soldiers less viable. And unfortunately, also, spitters is what makes the final hordes really dangerous because they just sit back and start pinging your defenses while everything else chews it down. So, yeah, spitters still the nastiest enemy in the game, in my opinion. Because, like, fatties, yeah, they're scary, but they're just meat. Executives kind of the same way. They run faster. But again, mostly meat, not much else. But spitters and harpies are what's really going to fuck you over. And if you're not smart about how you deal with harpies, and if you don't have ballistas everywhere, they're going to hop the walls, they're going to get into your cities, and they're going to murder you that way. So really, really bad way. We're using a Titan here to defend the the lone expansion up there, which you can argue is overkill, but then you'd be wrong. The only kind of kill, the only good kill is overkill, baby. So again, many hordes are coming in here, again, while we have defenses everywhere.
Our forces are in danger.
Yeah, forces are in danger. My guess is a spitter is involved. Or is it? Yep, the spitter's involved. As you can see in the back, there's one little torso motherfucker spitting. Got damaged, and we're going to run back now, heal up a bit. And we're quickly realizing that, like, yeah, spitters are incoming. Oh, Christ. Oh, really? They're pushing this down. They don't want to let it go. A Titan better be working harder, buddy. I wonder if we're actually able to defend that. I don't recall if we were able to defend that particular Tesla. But you'd think that a Titan would be enough, and then a mini horde comes in and just wrecks your shit. We should have a really bad day. But here we're saying, let's just double up the walls just in case that mini horde is pushing. And you see 2 fatties just wandering around there, kind of going, hey man, what's up? You want to eat something? I want to eat something. We should eat something. You want to eat brains? I want to eat brains. I like brains too. Let's eat some brains. The conversations are a little weird. But the point is, you know, as you get toward the edge of the map, the undead get really kind of nasty, and even snipers and rangers, that group is enough to deal with it. Because whereas a City of the Damned will, you know, gradually huck out its units, like toward the edge of the map, like you can get 4 or 5 harpies, fatties, and spitters all coming at you at the same time, and that's just a recipe for disaster when you look at some earlier units. So not a great plan. Here we're starting to think that we might want to start upgrading Executor sometime soon, and that's probably a good bet. Horde
What can I do for you,
7-8,
sir?
you probably have, and here we got infected a little bit. This Titan will be able to hold it pretty well. He's getting chewed up. You see that Banshee, how much damage she's doing?
Hello.
That is basically a Titan down to half health dealing with 2 Banshees because he's alone. Alright, so like I said, Titans are not invincible, and we probably need to defend that expansion a little harder than we did. So what we're going to probably need to do here is double back on our Titans and do something about this, even though we want to be clearing the map. But one Titan's clearly not enough. We need to kick up another one. So hey, let's do that.
Good morning,
And
sir.
with 2 or 3 is definitely enough. But you can see the advanced undead. They're no joke, man. They're no joke. And they will definitely fuck up your shit.
Hello.
So we're putting another Titan in that group. We're regrouping
Have a
here
taste of
down to
my
7.
machine.
Which should be enough to push down whatever we're dealing with. And that'll probably hold the Tesla all well and good
Let
after we
me
repair it.
destroy them.
But we're definitely worried about this. Definitely another Banshee just waiting there to be a bitch. But
Excuse
luckily,
me?
this
Building
Titan is
Here
healing.
we go.
It's hilarious. She's kind of sitting there just waiting. Die. Thank you. And with 2 there,
Yes,
that's probably
It's a
defendable.
wonderful
Especially
day,
since they're
don't
pushing
you
out
think?
really toward the edges of the map where that
My
expansion
machine
is.
ready.
Nasty stuff. Nasty stuff.
Too easy.
Here we're also thinking of getting this
Hello.
oil. It's a combination of a really good choke point down there in the southeast and another oil, which we do desperately need to control the Titans. And here, again, we're expanding out further to lock this down. It's a really nice choke, so we're going to lock that in. Doubling walls now because let's not fuck around here. And we're probably going to drop a ballista at some point soon. Saying let's just queue up another Titan while we got it. Make sure that keeps cranking out the production. We will need to eventually probably claim that oil in the north to make sure we have more Titans. And again, we're doing this, we're not putting it next to the canyon, so we're not blocked line of sight for shooting anything. But again, this provides us a pretty nice choke and yet another fallback to a defensive position should shit really hit the fan. So we're going to put something centrally without too much of an issue, and now we're going to try to push out and expand east. How aggressive did we expand here? I don't remember.
Let's go.
I don't remember how far we went. I think we went pretty far to this side, because I guess another bit of oil, and that also gave us really good chokes. Yeah, I think we expanded pretty aggressively this time.
My machine
It's pretty
is
interesting.
ready.
But again, it gives us a lot of space, a lot of
Good
farmland.
morning, sir.
Quarry's not
The
so
mighty
much, but
Titan
again,
is
really good
here.
chokes for late game,
Dreams.
and that's really good. Claim a lot of territory in the northeast is pretty beneficial. So, and here we're like, all right, you know, let's give this sniper lady group another go to try to clear the edge of the map. And last time it didn't go so well. We nearly died pretty horribly.
My machine
Yeah,
is
but this time,
ready.
hopefully, we can do better. That's our plan, at least.
Oh,
And
dear.
immediately, as soon as we look away, our soldiers are being attacked, and that was the spitter. So now we're again down to half health again. We're just like, son of a bitch. Because now, when you have like a bunch of your ladies at half health, a couple banshees is enough to murder you, which we're about to see. Yep, bingo. Actually managed to hold that
What
one
can
off.
I do for you, sir?
Very dangerous to leave those guys alone down there. I'm not a big fan. So bear in mind, the reason you're
The
balancing
world looks so tiny from
Titan
up here.
and income at this point is because Titans require 40
What can I do for
gold
you,
to
sir?
maintain.
At your
They're
service.
not cheap. They're actually
Here we
not cheap at all.
go.
So that's why you kind of keep your eco building constantly. Why I want to keep building quarries late game. Oh, snipers own that girl. Meaning a Banshee here. And again, we're focusing everyone on the most dangerous enemy because now we're seeing a lot of special undead. And since Banshees run at you quickly, chances are that would force you to focus them, and there's a higher probability of survival. So that's those up. Keep expanding out here. Keep expanding aggressively. How are we doing this? Why are we expanding there? Yeah, we want to get to that choke, right? Yeah, so that's one southern choke. We want to get to that eastern choke. Yep, that's what we're doing. Okay, good. So that isn't
Is
these
it
are what we're
tea
trying to
time
do.
already?
Lock this down while we clear the
Too
eastern side of the map,
easy.
and that's going to give us a huge buffer
Have a taste
between
of
the
my
zombies
machine.
and our command center, which is already a great thing. Yes, we're going to go pretty ham here. We're going to try to get that choke in the north, the choke in the east, and the choke in the southeast. And those are really narrow fronts You fortify those, and the zombies are going to have a really hard time breaking through. And that's probably as far east as we're going to go here. For obvious reasons, we don't want to go too much further anyway. There's no real point. It gives enough land for farms and things like that. But it also gives us enough for choking. There's no need to go any further. We might take the narrow one there, but I don't think we will, actually. I think we stop here. But again, it's been a couple days since we played this game, so I don't really remember how far we went to get our defensive positions locked in for kind of the final zombie push. But there is going to be another horde coming probably relatively soon. It's been like 7 days since the last one, so obviously the zombies are itching for some brains. 6 or 7 days.
Good morning,
so we should be expecting one anytime soon. And like you see, as soon as you get close to the edge of the map, man, fatties, executives, harpies, stuff gets nasty. And 3 titans really, while powerful, is nowhere near enough to deal with that. Like super easily. Let's put it that way. There's always a stress in some way. So we're bringing up the other group to see if we can't support our brethren a little bit, making sure nothing comes in from behind. Because while they hold that narrow front there, they could be getting flanked by some nastier stuff. Make sure we can get that done. So we're going to aggressively put a Tesla down. We're going to aggressively wall that area off. We're going to aggressively try to get that space. And kind of wait for the next Tesla comes up. And again, every time we're here, and there's a spitter, already trying to weaken us here, weaken our armor off, do some damage. Not good. We're going to try to run. We took that in the chin at the moment, but we're kind of okay. Spitter's dead. Banshee's incoming. Banshee's dead. Another Titan to get north. We're trying to build another group of 5 so we can kind of keep spreading, which is really, really nice. Again, clearing more land more quickly. And we can't build this far east, unfortunately. This is the edge of the map, so we probably are going to stop here as far as the expansions go. Even though that would be really nice choke area and really nice natural borders to force the horde to run around. But you know, any further, and you run the risk of not being able to build the defense up like we want to. Because you can't actually build too close to the edge of the map. The game prevents you from doing so. So again, as you can see, priorities endgame is constantly keep spamming up Titans, keep your economy up so you're at least 1,500 plus. That should keep you healthy, especially when you start spamming Gatling gun executors later. And that's really what you need to do. Good times, baby, good times. So I hope you enjoyed this retrospective. We keep pushing toward endgame here as we build our Titans up. We get stronger and stronger and stronger as we get ready to deal with the final horde, which is coming about 20 days from now. So, you know, any time now, we're about to feel the pain. So, I'll leave you with some meditative thoughts. I've been Urs, narrating a mind-to-mind meld with Mama Urs as we play this game together, and I will see you all next time on this here They Are Billions. Till next time, till then.